have you seen anything in general have a totally different shift in anxiety or worries with people since the pandemic than before 2020?
100%.
And how do you
100%.
How do you address that, like, in your own way? And is there just a lot of blockages that maybe are sometimes challenging for you to help people?
That's an interesting question. Let me start with the first part of the question. So for sure, huge changes, increasing anxiety levels, suicide rates are up. Like, these are measurable changes. That's not just like anecdotal that I'm noticing, right? So there are huge changes into how people are feeling about themselves and about the state of the world. And there are chemical and physical reasons behind that as well. And people have also, most of my clients have lost complete idea of what it is that they want their life to even look like. They've lost the vision. And so that's one of the places that we start first, working with how to create that vision again. And that's not as easy as just asking the question, oh, so what do you want from life? Or what do you see yourself doing in 5 years? Well, it's not about that. People physically are unable to access the part of their brain, the prefrontal cortex and the pineal gland, that allows your imagination to open up and create a vision for the future. And they've lost that ability, that connection, because they have so much cortisol and adrenaline pumping through their blood all the time, because we're in a heightened state of alert all the time these days. And if we're in this, like, our sympathetic nervous system is hyperactive, right? We're constantly like in fight, flight, freeze, fawn mode all the time, because we're just inundated with fear, war, disease, climate disaster. Just everything is horrible that we're being inundated with on the outside. So our body is like, all the time. And when you have that much cortisol and adrenaline pumping through your blood and through your brain, you're unable to think clearly. You are unable to have a true sense of discernment, and you are for sure unable to project yourself into the future and create any kind of vision of what you might desire, what you might want, what it could be for yourself. So the access to that part of your subconscious and to that part of your imagination is a little bit more complicated than just asking the question. There's a lot involving nervous system regulation, reprogramming and rewiring of your brain, creating a new sense of safety in yourself, in your body, and in your current scenario. A sense of safety in the fact that everything is changing. Everything around us is changing, and we're not going back to where we were ever again. So that kind of, it's a massive process, and it's very, like I said, individual. It really depends on what comes up for every person. Is it panic attacks? Is it anxiety? Is it an ability or inability to meditate or not? Is it anger? Is it hyper overworking? A lot of people right now are caught in this like burnout loop because they think they have to. And with prices going up and with inflation, they're like, oh my God, I have to earn money. I have to earn money. And we live in this scarcity paradigm that there's not enough for everybody. And that's like complete bullshit. That without getting, I don't use this word lightly. That is the patriarchy. And I really don't use that word lightly. The patriarchy has created this false sense of scarcity and of it's just all an illusion. And I think that illusion is failing people left, right, and center these days. And therefore, they are waking up a little bit to it. They're waking up and coming home to themselves and seeing that they need to do something to support themselves. It doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to be stressed, exhausted, burned out. You don't have to have, like in women, so much is showing up as reproductive issues. The amount of friends that I have around me and the amount of clients that have endometriosis, difficulties with their periods, fertility issues, conception issues. I mean, this is like, what the f- happened to the world? So there's so much we can do with nervous system regulation, mindset shifts, and implementing new habits and beliefs to support all of that stuff. I am like not saying that I'm a magician and I don't cure endometriosis, but there's so much on an energetic, spiritual, and psychological level that we can do to support our bodies.